Hello again, everybody. This is another video about rational expressions, how to deal with fractions in algebra. Now, what I'm going to show you is that you guys should know how to deal with simple fractions like this. We're going to take it up a notch and do it with missing variables and unknowns and complicated expressions. So let's try this. Let's make sure we know how to do this first, though. How do you multiply fractions together? You multiply the numerator by the numerator and the denominator by the denominator, just like that. How do you divide fractions? Well, if you're dividing by a fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal. So you flip over the second fraction. Alright, and then 2 times 5 is 10, 3 times 4 is 12, but hang on, we've got a common factor of 2 here, so we cancel it out. Those of you who are a bit smarter will see, hey, let's cancel it out here. Okay, 2 goes into 4 twice, so we've got 1 times 5 on the top and 3 times 2 on the bottom. Okay, so you hopefully know how to do these fractions. Let's take it up a notch and see what they're like. See what they're like. Okay, so here we go. This is 3 more difficult, ugly looking expressions here we're going to deal with now. Okay, the first one over here, you could just multiply the top together and multiply the bottom together and get something like this, and then we'll simplify this out. But actually that's hard. What you should do is look for things to cancel. Alright? 9 goes into 27 3 times. 8 goes into 16 2 times. X goes into x squared once, leaving you with x on the top. Y goes into y to the 4th. Y to the 3rd times, but hang on, y to the 3rd, that cancels out. Z cubed and z here, so we got z squared on the bottom. That's it. Now you just got to look at what's left. A 3 and an x, a 2 and a z squared. That's it. Done. Okay? If you set your work out neatly and go step by step, this will be a lot easier than doing it the other way. Okay, here we go. Dividing two fractions. Dividing a fraction is multiplying by the reciprocal. Okay, now you can see. Okay, 12 and 36, they all cancel down to a 3. And then 13 and 26, so that's a 2 on the top. Okay, x cubed divided by x. Y divided by y cubed, so y squared on the bottom. B divided by b squared, so that's a b on the bottom. Okay, and there we go. On the top we've got 2x squared. On the bottom we've got 3ab y squared. Okay, making it a little bit harder now. We've got dividing by a fraction. What did I just say? Dividing by a fraction is multiplying by the reciprocal. So there we go. Now before we go and sort of multiply these things out, multiply those things out, let's see if we can't factor these. Well, look at that. X squared plus 3x minus 18, I can factor that. That's x plus 6x minus 3. And on the bottom here, common factor of x. So they both factor really nicely. And then guess what? X divided by x. X plus 6 divided by x plus 6. X minus 3 divided by x minus 3. All those things cancel out. So the answer is 4. That's it. Okay, so all this ugly looking multi-fraction here becomes just 4. Okay, a couple more similar to this. Now when you look at this, again, say, okay, I can't divide it easily. I can't divide up my terms because there's invisible brackets around each of these. So what I'll try and do is factor both top and bottom, and yes I can. Okay, 3 times 8 is 24, 3 minus 8 is negative 5, 8 times 8 is 64, etc. Okay, so they factor really nicely. These two cancel out. And I don't need the brackets there, but hey, it's always good to have them. Extra brackets don't hurt. Okay, same over here. Now this one's a little bit interesting. On the top we've got y plus 8, y minus 5. 8 times 5 is 40. 8 minus 5 is 3. And here, difference of two squares, so 5 plus y, 5 minus y. Now look at these two, y minus 5, 5 minus y. How are they related? They're negative 1 times each other. So this y minus 5 divided by 5 minus y actually equals negative 1. Okay, and that factors out nicely. If you didn't get that, write it out and see what you can, how you can work it out. Or ask someone for help. I'll show you another time maybe. Okay. These ones, again, first thing, you see the divide, make it a times. Second thing, let's see if we can factor any of this. I can definitely factor that, and that, and that. This one, yep, I can factor that too. Alright, so everything factors nicely. I'll let you pause the video and see if you can work out each of them. And then things will just cancel out. There you go. Nice one. Okay. One final question that's a bit more tricky. That's kind of scary looking. There's two ways you can solve this. Okay, when you're adding fractions, you need to have common denominator. So make a common denominator in our numerator and our denominator. So we've got two nice fractions now. So, and then when you divide a fraction by a fraction, you multiply by the reciprocal, so the x's will cancel out. Probably an easier way to do this is just first up, multiply everything by x. 4 by x becomes 4x, 2 on x by x becomes 2, etc. So it works out really nicely. Just times everything, every single term by x, because that's really just timesing by 1. Okay, I hope this was helpful. There was a few little confusing bits there, so go back and watch them again. And if you have questions, please ask me in class, or ask your teacher, or ask your friend. All right, good luck.